I live my life by four rules. And to illustrate this, I want you to imagine a cross. And we'll say that each of the 4 points represents a unique principle. You got mind, body, spirit, and we're going to say strategy or circumstance. So let's dive into this and analyze it a little more. What does mind mean? Mindfulness. Well, it means you think. You think about things. You don't necessarily have your mind made up. You contemplate. It's the spirit of philosophy. It's the idea of seeking out truth. However inconvenient it might be, always seek to know the truth, whether you like the outcome, whether you like the answer or not. Think about things and make up your own mind for yourself. That's so important in life that you be self made and self defined, and you look inside for answers. You don't always have answers, you don't always find them, but there's no better place to start than by honestly contemplating, looking at all of the available details, living life with your eyes wide open, and having an open mind. Now, that's not enough. You can think all you want, but if you don't do anything, it's kind of all for nothing. So, the power of your body should be used for productive things, for labor, if you will. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be working hard, sweating all the time. That's not really what it's about. It's that you have a willingness to do the duty that is before you, to do the things which must be done. Sometimes, if you're willing to do things that are a little bit inconvenient just because they need to be done now, if you're proactive about having a tolerance for a little bit of adversity all the time, then you wind up never being in a situation where you have to encounter a lot of adversity. And I'll give you an example. All right. Let's say that I invest in a stock. All right. And the stock is something I'm investing in because I would like to have enough money to retire or to do some other things later on in life. Well, let's say the stock doesn't do very well this week or this month. Sure, I don't like it. But now imagine that I didn't save any money and my expenses are too high and my bills are too high and I racked up the credit cards and I didn't pay them off. And now I can't pay my bills. Well, the stock that's not doing too well is kind of a small adversity that I can handle because I already trained myself to accept the inconvenience of learning to be more moderate all the time in the way I spend and the way I live and things like that. So maybe there's a little bit of inconvenience in the sense that there's some things that I haven't done, or there's some things I didn't buy, or stuff I didn't spend my money on. But now the adversity that I face winds up often not being so very bad compared to the adversity which maybe I faced in other times in my life when I was less responsible on the front side. And so when I say use the power of your body to invest in labor, that doesn't mean work super hard all the time. It just means be responsible all the time. Don't hide from duties that are important. Don't put things off, and put the effort in now so that you don't have to worry about the crushing burden of all of those requirements falling on you later on. Don't be the person who is terrified of having to do something that's inconvenient. I every day when I go to work, I walk to work because I can. And sometimes it's cold outside. Sometimes maybe there's a little bit of inconvenience there, but it gives me an opportunity to get some exercise. And the nice thing is when I go to work and I'm walking to work and I'm walking home, I don't really worry so much about thinking, oh, maybe I need to work out or something, because I'm getting that workout on my way to work and back. That just kind of kills two birds with one stone. And then I don't have to worry about car maintenance, and I don't have to worry about putting gas in the car. And there's so many other things I just don't have to worry about because of that little bit of adversity. If you want to call it adversity, it doesn't even really feel like it. It feels more like a nice opportunity to have some quiet time at the beginning and the end of my workday. But just that little thing. It's a small sacrifice a lot of people wouldn't be willing to do. And it makes my life better on the backside. That's just a little example. Okay, so moving on. Let's talk about spirit. So what is spirit? That's kind of an abstract. I guess it's hard to picture. What does that mean? I don't really think of spirituality so much when I say spirit in this context. What I think of is your spirit in life. Like, what is your attitude? Do you have a good attitude about life? That's the question. Okay? Because life is not going to always go the way you want it to. So, do you have the ability to see good in life regardless of what happens? You don't know what's going to happen. You're going to have times when you are doing well in life. There's going to be times when you're not. There's going to be times when you're surrounded by people that bring joy into your life. There's going to be times when you have lean spots. There's going to be times when you have the joy and the privilege of youth and vitality. There's going to be times when you're ill or when you're old. There's going to be so many things in life that are beyond your control. Do you have the willingness to see good in the world all the time? Life is too short for us to like certain parts of our lives and then turn our nose up at other parts and just be bitter about things we don't want. Or go to work thinking, well, I'm just going to try to get through the day so I can fast forward and get to the part I want. Well, you're going to spend so much of your time sleeping and working and doing all these other things in life that need to be done. You need to take pleasure and joy out of all of the experiences, not just a few of them that you think are important. And if you can do that, if you can have a sunny attitude toward life in every circumstance, that's going to be a huge home field advantage. And it also helps a lot when you get to the point in life where you have to face things that are adversity. You're going to be in a much better place if you understand that life is good, whether it feels good or not. Otherwise, you get to a point in life where you have to face things like mortality. And if you're not ready, then how do you do that? How do you have a good spirit? When you were negative and bitter about life, even when things were going well, when you were healthy and young and had all sorts of opportunities ahead of you, and you were still bitter about other people and bitter about life and angry about all kinds of things. And what are you going to be like when you're old and your health isn't good and you don't have that much longer left to live? Then do you see the beauty in life then? Like, it's good to get this stuff worked out early while you still have time to make a difference with your life. Not only does it help you accomplish more, it also helps you have a frame of mind that's going to be very beneficial to your mental health down the road as you continue to go through life's journey. Finally, I'm going to close with the concept of circumstance and strategic advantage. So we work on our mind, we think things through, we work hard, we try to have a good attitude and a good outlook on life. But there's also this overarching thing we can still do in addition to all of that, and that is to always look at life through the lens of seeking a strategic advantage. Maybe you call it luck, fortune, grace, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. But it's kind of like looking at life like a game. You're trying to win. And you never make a move willingly that's going to put you in a position to lose the game. And you always want to find win-win situations where you can do the right thing and you can get ahead as a result of doing the right thing. And you also have to understand that things that really matter, things that really pay off, are the things that make someone's day or someone's life better. Those are the only investments that you really can take with you beyond the grave. When you leave something of a legacy that inspires people to go on better off when you're done, that's what matters. But in life, it's important to lay aside your ideals enough to understand that life requires a pragmatic approach. You can't be too much of a dogmatic extremist on any one particular point. You have to just say, how can I survive the day? How can I get ahead? How can I do things that are going to keep me in the game and keep me from getting voted off the island? And then within those parameters, you look for opportunities to use your liberty to do good in the world. Now, does that mean that you make compromises from time to time and you have to kind of pick the middle way when you would like to pick the far left or the far right? Yeah, it does. And that's okay, though, because life is filled with a lot of different complex opposite things, and they all can exist together if we just understand that not every single thing is going to connect like a jigsaw puzzle. You just have a lot of loose pieces sometimes, and you just let them be what they are, and you try to figure out how you can use the right pieces at the right time to get the right result in the end. So always play to win. Always play to win, because it doesn't matter how good your ideals are if you don't survive the battle to live another day. So do what you can and always look for opportunities to do good, but also just do your best to survive and survive without hurting other people. That's the number one rule. Just don't hurt other people. And if you can live life working hard to do the things that you need to do, don't hurt other people, don't lie to yourself, be open-minded to the truth, and have a good attitude and believe that the world is a good place and the universe is a friendly place, that right there is pretty much your rule book for life. It's going to be good enough. Now, all the other stuff, the details, the fine-tuned points of how does things work out, well, I don't know. We don't know those things. But if you have those attitudes, you're probably going to be okay. Now, very seldom do we wind up losing in life big time and really having a lot of regrets because we did the very best that we knew how to do. Following our judgment to the best of our knowledge, to the best of our ability, we do everything we feel we ought to do, and then we wind up failing. Well, those aren't usually the things that do us in. Certainly not the things that give us the most regret. The things that bother us and set us back the most are when we really know that we have a certain set of values that we would like to live by, and then where the rubber meets the road, we have the opportunity to follow our conscience, but we don't. Those are the things that we should try to avoid, and really no one needs to tell you what you ought to believe. You should just look at yourself and think about it, and if you do know what you believe, Make a point to live by those rules. And if you do that, you probably wind up being all right. Thank you for watching.